Okay, here we have a blank Arduino project. This is what you get when you just say File, New Project. To make it control PixelGrid, we need to include the PixelGrid library. Just include. Now, you see this void setup, open close paren, and then open curly close curly. This is defining a function named setup, which takes no parameters because it doesn't have anything between these parentheses, and it returns nothing. In C or C++ code, void is kind of the same thing as nothing. And then whatever you put in between these two curly braces will be the code that's executed for setup. Similarly, we have a void loop with no parentheses. So this is a loop function. And whatever we put in here will run over and over and over until you turn off your device. So in the setup function, you want to do pixelgrid.setup. And in the loop function, you need to do pixelgrid.update. These two lines of code are kind of required for PixelGrid to work. Setup initializes all the hardware, kind of sets the LEDs up, gets the buttons ready to read, things like that. And then the update function copies the memory onto the screen. Well, the screen is a grid of LEDs, so this copies the data that you've drawn into memory onto the LEDs, and it reads the button states. Basically automates a bunch of stuff for you so that the PixelGrid functions will work. To test your code to see if you have any errors, you click this checkbox called Verify. And here we have no errors. Like if I had an error, I would just type something random in here and click the checkbox. It's going to hopefully point you right at it. So here are the first. Whenever you have errors, always scroll up to the very first one. Don't really pay attention to the ones at the end because they might all be caused by the first error. So you want to typically fix the first error in the list. And here it's saying a void does not name a type. Did you mean void? What it's done is it's kind of taken this a and smashed it together with the next thing it found, which was void. And of course, it doesn't make sense. So here we'll fix it. And now when you've got your code compiling and you think you're ready to run it on the hardware, you use the upload button. You just click this button, and then you watch this LED here. You see it blink as the code gets downloaded, and then it runs. So we know it downloaded because we got the scrolling PixelGrid logo, which is built into the library. And now we have a blank screen. That's because we didn't really tell it to do anything. So let's add, there's a function called setPixel. And you pass in an X and a Y. So we'll just do 6,6 or 6,5, how about that? And then you pass in a color. In PixelGrid programming, you use this macro called PGColor to define colors. And then PGColor takes two parentheses, just like a function, and then three numbers, which would be the red, green, and the blue values. And each number goes from 0 to 255. So if we wanted a red pixel, we could do 25500, for example. If we wanted a green, we could do it like this. If you want any kind of mixture, you can put any combination of numbers in these three spots. It just has to be between 0 and 255. So if we compile this, we should see an LED on the screen at location 6,5 light up, and it'll be mostly green with maybe a reddish tint. So let's go ahead and upload that. And again, you can see the code downloading here. And there's the pixel. Now, this pixel here is address 0, 0, or coordinate 0, 0. And then the x coordinates go positive this way, up to coordinate 12. And then the y coordinates start at 0 here, and they go this way, positive, to coordinate 12. So if we wanted to turn on, say, this pixel in the lower right corner, we can we can add another line of code. Let's set another pixel. 12, 12. And we can pick a different color. We've got a greenish color right now. Let's make it a blue. Oops. Make sure your parentheses are matched up. So I've got 2 parentheses there. So there was our old pixel. We should see that one still be on because I left that code. And then we have a blue one. So one thing you could do for fun is you could put a whole bunch of set pixel calls into your program and draw pictures. Make a smiley face or something. Try to, rather than copying exactly what I'm doing, try to gain an understanding of what it's, what's the meaning of each of these lines of code. Probably I should explain this a little better. When I say PixelGrid dot set pixel, the PixelGrid library, all the functions for the PixelGrid library are accessed through this PixelGrid object. So you can kind of think of the PixelGrid object represents your board, and then all the functions it has represent interacting with the different parts. So there will be a function for reading buttons, function for turning on the colors for the LEDs, and there'll be a function for playing sounds on the speaker. So that's it for this this video.